Hello everyone, this is George from Innovation Aid. I wanted to give you a final report of the projects that we've been doing here in Jordan thanks to your kind donations. When we arrived here, we started to work in Zaatari village, a village outside of the Zaatari refugee camp, a host community where many Syrian refugees are living. We began by interviewing 250 families in order to better understand the needs of the community and to make sure that we build products that address these needs. The first building that we did is that we manufactured chairs out of old wood that is held together by melted plastic bottles that we melt using hair dryers. This worked okay, but wood is so scarce here and the quality is so bad that we decided to move on, and we built 6 cupboards out of cardboard. 5 of these 6 cupboards worked well. One of them collapsed because the floor it was standing on got flooded by water. Then we planted over 100 plants, little seedlings of tomato, cucumber, aubergines and chili that we planted into permaculture bins that were basically upcycled olive oil containers that we filled with gravel and soil, as well as vertical gardens that are basically plastic bottles that are stuck together into long tubes that we filled with soil, and then we cut little windows into these tubes in order to allow plants to grow vertically. And the community was very excited about these products. Another need that we have identified were pests. So we built over 20 ant traps with the women's collected in Mafraq, not far from Zaatari village. We built over 20 rat traps out of plastic bottles, and we built around 80 mosquito traps out of plastic bottles, sugar, water and yeast for the people here in Zaatari. The majority of them during the Labor Day celebration of the Children's Museum in Jordan, in Amman. Then we continued by building a prototype for a visibility barrier that allows teenage girls to play outside without being seen by their male neighbors. We used old wood to repair school desks and the broken floor of an informal refugee school here in Zaatari village. With the Women's Collective in Mafraq, we built cooking stove covers, which are basically metal sheets that are installed over the cooking stoves in the kitchen to prevent smoke to collect on the roof, on the ceiling of the kitchen. Then we built air-conditioned units out of plastic bottles, which is basically a wood sheet that you hang in front of a window, through which you drill holes, and in these holes you insert the tops of plastic bottles. And this funnels the wind outside into the room inside, giving you a nice breeze. Unfortunately, this also allowed sand to enter the holes, so we discontinued with this innovation. Then we built 2 different compost units at the Shams community in Amman. And we built the world's first solar-powered small-scale trickle water filtration unit thanks to Carsten Riekelmann and the University of Berlin.
To start all these projects, we needed trash. That's why we started to collect plastic bottles and plastic bags and other garbage from our friends, colleagues, neighbors and through Facebook. We collected around 1,000 plastic bottles and around 800 plastic bags. We planned also an event with our volunteers. For this we went to an area in Amman and we cleaned this area, collected the garbage and used this for our project. There were two advantages for this event. The one is that we cleaned an area and the other is that we upcycled the material. We also recognized that the children here in Zaatari village, they don't have enough toys. So we planned a workshop and we made built with them toys out of plastic. The main toys were minions, cup and ball, and can steels. We planned the same event with another organization which is called Homes League Abroad. It's a German organization and they take care of Syrian widows and their children here in Amman. We worked with around 120 children in the age of 3 to 15 years. It was very fun for us and the children liked it so much, and at the end it was not just like the toys who were colorful, it was also us, the volunteers, the children, and the walls, they looked all like little rainbows.
As George mentioned, here in Zaatari village the food security is a big issue. For that we decided to build a biosand filter in order to filter the grey water, because the water is very expensive. So the filtered water, they could use it afterwards for planting, for agricultural purposes. Unfortunately, it didn't work for many reasons. One of the reasons may be that we did not collaborate enough with the local community and the families. Another reason might be that because of the very hot weather, the water started to smell. Anyway, we decided to take it off. Jada, the cultural center in Amman, organized a summer camp for kids. There were around 22 kids, Syrian refugees and Jordanian. They asked us to help them and we organized activity twice a week for about a month. We built with them toys with trash, as Isabel mentioned. We built shakers, we built rainmakers, car, kites, and so on. The kids were very happy and very proud to build their own toys. And also they saw the trash in a positive way. Another issue here in Zaatari village, it's half of the family built very simple houses, and the roof of these houses are made out of zinc roof. One of the problems with zinc roof is that because of holes in it, in winter water is leaking into the houses. So for that we found a solution, we hope so. We are melting plastic bags together into one big plastic sheet, and the idea is to cover the roof with this big plastic sheet, and we hope it will prevent the water from leaking inside the house.
So my work for Innovation Aid was as technical consultant, but mainly I was the main designer and builder for the wind turbine project. Through the surveys that the Innovation Aid made at the beginning, we found out a lot of people in Zaatari villages face the problem of high expensive electricity, and because also the cutoff of electricity that happens every once in a while. So we came up with a solution for to charge small electronic stuff by building a wind turbine from a broken ventilators. So what we did is we tried to search for the used broken ventilators, and we use magnets from speakers and to put it inside to reverse the whole process of the ventilator, and then it will start to give us and generate electricity. And because it's used broken ventilators, we couldn't achieve as much as electricity as we wanted, but we achieved enough electricity and power at the output to help us charge small electronics like mobile phones. After finishing the first prototype and making sure it's working good as expected, we held a workshop with teenagers, around 10 teenagers in Jadal, and they helped us to build 5 products of those wind turbines, and then hopefully we're gonna distribute them into Zaatari village, and the people there will start building their own wind turbines whenever they need it.
All of these projects have been made possible through you, the donors, but also through great partner organizations. The cultural laboratories in Berlin, called Trial and Error, allowed us to do a crowdfunding campaign with them and supported us throughout the entire time. Acting for Change Jordan, a very good grassroots NGO helping the people here in Zatari village, gave us access to the community and helped us to get our feet off the ground. The Refugee Utility Project, another great grassroots NGO, gave us access to remote refugee communities out in the desert and helped us to work with them. The community center of Jadal in Amman gave us access to their facilities and great contacts and support that allowed us to implement the projects that we've just told you about. Carsten Rickelmann and the Technical University of Berlin allowed us to build the trickle filtration system, and the water testing facilities of the German Jordanian University and the University of Jordan made sure that the filters that we're working on actually achieved their goal. The Community Center of Action Aid in Mafraq opened their doors for us, and they allowed us to work with their women communities. Yorigami, an origami company in Jordan, helped us to design the visibility barrier using origami folding techniques. And Ziyadat for Recycling, the only genuine upcycle company in Jordan, gave us technical support and free wood to build with. The Grassroots Community Center of Shams in Amman also gave us access to their facilities and connected us to great makers and volunteers. And we want to thank all of them, but first and foremost we want to thank Field Ready. Field Ready is an American NGO that's been supporting our projects from the beginning. Even before we arrived in Jordan, Field Ready gave us their technical support and managerial expertise that assured us success with most of the projects that we have done. They are the ones that will now take this approach forward. They will assimilate the work that we have done and carry it into the future, assuring that low-tech innovation in the development realm is something that is going to become more widespread and hopefully will be assimilated by many international NGOs. For this, we want to thank them, our partners, and especially you, the donors, for allowing us to field test low-tech upcycle technologies. And I think we have all proven that these technologies can have an impact into the lives of the most vulnerable refugees in Jordan. For this, we want to thank you, and we hope that you will support our work in the future. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye!
Bye!